first time I read the Backroom story was a few years ago. I immediately knew it had huge potential. And a year later, when I saw the pool rooms, I thought to myself,
I gotta figure out how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good.
so let's make it real. I looked at many pool rooms and ended up choosing this one because of the way that it looks. So let's recreate it. The first step is thinking this will be a quick and easy project, but it somehow never is. The second step is modeling. Normally I would just use an image texture, but that won't work because the tiles need depth, and while an image texture might look real, it really is just flat. Great, now that the tile is made, we just have to put it on the walls. This next part really is simple, now that I've figured it out. We will use geometry nodes to place the tiles on each side of our cube facing the correct direction. Geometry nodes are a bit like scratch blocks because they are both programming without actually writing code. The first node creates a point in the middle of each face where we can then place a tile. These three nodes get the direction data of each face and rotate the tile in that direction. The last problem we have is that these are all separate objects and we need them to all be joined together into one. To do that, we need to realize the tiles from being instances to real objects, and then use a Boolean node to join the tiles with the cube. And with the geometry node setup complete, all that leaves is the build montage. The tiles didn't want to work properly on the round sections, but I was able to fix it by rotating them negative 1.56 in the x-axis and positive 1.56 in the y-axis. If that made sense to you, at least that makes one of us. Getting the stairs to work was a bit tricky because I was doing it the wrong way, but nobody told me that. I eventually figured out I could just do it the right way, which was much easier. I finished the model off by adding in bong water and realized the rear tube was way too high, so I switched out the water for regular, and that seemed to fix the issue. Most of the wall tiles needed cleaning up. Some were warped, leaving gaps between the panels and needed a bit of sanding. Others had gaps between the tiles filled in. I found that a nail file with its edge clipped into a makeshift saw was the perfect width to clean out in between the tiles. As you can see, I'm using a clear glue to glue these together. It's actually just a 3D printing resin that I cure with a UV light. I use it because it only takes a couple of seconds to cure. Or sometimes never. I'm not sure why. get the old school white look, kinda yellowed white, I ended up using a Tamiya Racing White. I think it came out very, very nice. I mean, as it should. It was like $15 a can. And Tamiya spray cans are only a quarter the size of regular spray cans. Very expensive. I got very lucky because without planning it, I discovered that I could use alcohol wipes to clean off the gray acrylic grout paint from the faces of the tiles without removing the white tile paint. Sorta how real tiles are grouted. I masked off the ends of the stairs because not only does glue not stick to paint, it won't stick to a smooth surface, which is why I'm scratching it up. I used this 2-part epoxy instead of the resin because it was going to be much too difficult to try to get the curing light in there to cure the resin. Depending on what 2-part epoxy you use, it can either have a strong smell or a weak smell. Luckily, I got the one with a very strong fish smell. And with that, it's just a final assembly and the project is finished. I actually think that this project came out really nice in the end. I'm kind of surprised at how accurate it looks to the renders online. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments.